Hello beautiful people and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the National Empowerment Fund, which is an institution that is able to provide support to Black-owned businesses, both in financial and non-financial terms, up to 75 million rands. I am Thandisa Mahe and I talk all things relating to business, making money and the family life. If you're new to this channel, thank you so much for joining us and make sure that you listen throughout the video to get all the nitty-gritties and the nice nuggets that are going to be able to assist you to move your business forward. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It is truly appreciated. Okay, the first thing that I want to do is to kind of give you an overview of what the National Empowerment Fund is. This is an institution with a very specific mandate. We understand that the government of South Africa is literally trying to put in place different measures to ensure that, people and groups that have been previously disadvantaged and excluded from participating in the mainstream economy are given different opportunities. And this institution is such an institution that was established based on the National Empowerment Fund Act, I think 105 of 1998, so that it can focus on ensuring, inclusivity or the inclusion of specifically Black people in the mainstream economy, and by providing, financial and non-financial support to small businesses or to businesses that are owned by Black people specifically. So that is why they exist. They're supposed to ensure that anyone who approaches them with a viable commercial business idea that can be able to, contribute towards the achievement of their mandate, their goals, their objectives, their vision, can be able to get the assistance that they need. Now, there are different ways in which the NEF actually delivers on its mandate. It includes a lot of different, funding instruments that they have. And I'm going to be touching a little bit as well on some of those different funding instruments that they have. The first instrument is the Alternative Energy Solutions kind of fund. And this fund is literally designed because we understand that in this country, we have a serious problem of, an energy challenge. We have an energy challenge in our country. And if you're thinking about big commercial business, you need energy in order for you to function optimally. So what they have come up with, it's the DTIC and the NEF together. They have come together to collaborate to create this fund so that they can be able to help businesses who want to ensure that they tap into greening kind of energy or alternative energy solutions so that they are able to keep their businesses afloat, even though we are sitting as a country with an energy crisis. The second one is the Women Empowerment Fund. Now, this fund is specifically focused on accelerating the participation of women-owned businesses in the mainstream economy. So basically, this fund is designed to assist businesses that are owned by women to actually get supported and so that they can grow, so that they can expand, so that they can be able to contribute to the economy. The third one is Imbewu Fund. This fund is more focused on assisting Black-owned businesses who are interested in actually starting out or expanding current operations. So basically here, it really assists someone with a business idea like startups with new ideas, as well as existing businesses who want to focus on expanding their operations. This would be the perfect fund to assist in this regard. The next one is Umnotho Fund. This fund is more focused on assisting businesses with access to big capital and has got 5 main products under it, which include acquisition finance, project finance, expansion finance, capital markets fund, and liquidity and warehousing. So this is what this one is more focused on. And then we have the Rural, Township and Community Development Fund. This one, just like its name, insinuates, it is more focused on supporting businesses that are located in townships, in rural areas, in the more disadvantaged areas, especially those that can be sustainable in the long term. And the next one is the Strategic Projects Fund. Now, we understand that the government has got different types and kinds of policies that they're implementing for industrialization, for ensuring truly the quick and, kind of propelled access of Black people to high impact projects, that can be sustainable in the long term, that can be commercialized, that can, contribute towards industrialization, because this is where the government believes that it will be able to create most jobs or more job opportunities and stimulate the economy. So based this fund is mostly aligned with those different policies, such as the National Industrial Policy Framework, the Industrial Policy Action Plans, the NDP goals, the New Growth Path, things like that, which is different policies that the government has in place to ensure that they're able to accelerate, on the goals and objectives that they're trying to achieve, especially around industrialization and the participation of Black people. So this fund is focused more on those projects that are going to, respond to and ensure the implementation of the objectives of the government, or the industrial focus areas of the government. The next one is the Arts and Culture Venture Capital Fund. This is more focused on ensuring that businesses that are in the arts and culture space are able to be started and expanded. So it's a fund that is really designated on focusing on the arts and culture sector. And the last one is the Tourism Transformation Fund. As you can hear from the word, it basically means that it's a fund that is more focused on supporting businesses that are owned by Black people in the tourism sector. And it is more for, growth and expansion. It is more for ensuring that previously disadvantaged areas can also tap into the tourism sector and make sure that it is moving the tourism sector to better heights. So these are all the different kinds of funding instruments that are within the National Empowerment Fund. And I have excluded those that, like, for instance, the one that relates to COVID, I've excluded that because it's no longer applicable. All the ones that I've mentioned in this video, they're currently in existence and you can be able to tap into them. I am going to be, over the next couple of weeks, expanding on each and every one of this. Make sure that you take the opportunity to follow or to subscribe and to tap on the notification bell so that you may be kept abreast of when we put out new content, especially relating to this, to the NEF opportunities. Now, what I want to now get into is the application form. The interesting thing with the National Empowerment Fund is that they do not focus on having different funding applications. So you just complete one funding application, and internally, when the application reaches their hands, when you've completed everything and you've submitted everything, they then allocate your application to the correct fund that it aligns with, based on the different funding instruments that they have and the ones that I've just mentioned right now. So, don't fret, don't be afraid, don't be a bit skeptical about their process when it comes to why they only have one application form. So I'm going to now take you through the application form just for you to understand it at a high level, so that when you are going to knock on their door, you understand how the application form is structured. The other interesting thing is that this application form is only a total of about 8 pages. One thing that they emphasize that I also need to make mention to you is that some people, because of the world we live in and how evil people can be, they actually charge people to get the application form. I want to make this clear to you. The NEF does not charge any fees for you to get the application form. You literally go to their website, and then when you get to their website, you download the application form. There is no fee that you have to actually pay for, getting your hands on the actual application form. The other thing that I need to mention that is also important is that you need to complete all the areas. Incomplete application forms do not even get given the time of day, because there are so many different application forms that get to land on the laps of the NEF, on the lap of the NEF, and they do not have time to be, going through application forms that are not completed in full. Complete the application in full. Complete the application form in full. I said one last time, complete the application form in full, okay? Do not leave out any space. If you don't know what you're supposed to write there, find out, investigate, write something, say not sure about this, or write not applicable if you feel like this does not apply to you, okay? Please do not cause your application to be disqualified automatically without even looking at the merits of your business, and you just get rejected from the door just because you have an incomplete application form. The first section on the application form is focused on getting the business details and the applicant details. This is information that you have. It's about you, the applicant. It's about the business that you are applying for. Remember, the NEF is not funding individuals in a sense, right? They are funding a business. So they want to understand and they want information that relates to the actual business. And this is where this page everyone needs to know how to complete. It's so basic. It's your names, surnames, registration numbers, things like that, like the basics, guys. ID numbers, director details, and all of that. Make sure that you complete every single section. That's the first part of the application form. Now, before I proceed, the minimum amount that the NEF will fund you for is 250,000. The maximum amount is up to 75 million rand. Okay, so if you've got a business that only requires less than 250,000, I think it should give you an idea that this fund is a bit bigger than what you're looking for. So you need to find other ones like the ones that I put out. Okay, and if you're looking for anywhere between from 250,000 right up to 75 million, then you can actually apply on this fund. There is another important section, which is the declaration and consent. You need to make sure that you complete this. If there's more than one director and of the business, make sure that everyone completes this section. It is very, very important. Now, the next section is more focused on the attachments, the checklist. There's a whole checklist that they use in terms of the things that you need to attach that need to support the application form or that need to be submitted with the application form. Now, the next section, which is very, very important, is the declaration and consent. It's very important that you complete this, as everyone who is a director or a shareholder or an owner in the business is required to sign this part. Do not overlook this, okay? Unless you are the only person that is running the business. If not, make sure that everyone who's supposed to sign this part signs this part, because if you don't sign it and complete it in full, then it will render your application invalid, or it will be rejected. Now, the next section is more focused on the documents that you need to submit with the application as part of the application form. What this basically means, my dear, is you need to understand that there are three things I want to touch on right now. The first one is there are requirements in terms of a checklist for existing businesses. There are requirements in terms of a checklist for new businesses, and there are requirements as well that apply to a franchise, like if you're wanting to buy a franchise or need assistance with that process. And you need to make sure that as part of the checklist, you follow that which applies to you, okay? If you're a new business, make sure that you attach everything that relates to that. If you're an existing business, make sure that you attach everything that relates to that. And if you're a franchise and there are things that are required as part of the franchise business that you're going for, make sure that you attach all of them as well. Now, I'm actually going to focus on talking about the different items that you need to submit with the application form. Okay, I'm not going to separate them in terms of this is what is required for existing, this is what is required for new. You just need to go to the NEF website. Just go to your Google and type out NEF. You're going to land on their website. Open it up and go to the application form. And then you're going to see exactly what I mean. And you're going to focus on that which relates directly to you. Unless you want me to do the submission for you, you want me to prepare the documents for you, you want to contract my company to assist you in that regard. If not, you can also do this. All of this you can do it yourself. If you don't want to do it yourself, then you can use my services. The first important one that you need to attach with the application form is a business plan. You actually need to submit the application form accompanied by a business plan. I'm going to sound like a broken record, but you're going to identify that with each and every one of these funding institutions, they require a business plan. Like, they don't compromise with that, because how else are they supposed to understand your business idea or the business that you're running without a business plan? Okay, so make sure that you actually have a business plan that you submit together with the application form. They also require an affidavit from all the members or the directors of the business consenting or acknowledging that they have consented to the application being submitted, and they're taking full accountability and responsibility for the application itself and everything that comes out of it. So sometimes in a business, you could be the five of you, and then someone decides to apply for such funding without the consent of other members, and the NEF doesn't want to be found in those debacles. So they want you to also attach an affidavit that says, as the directors of this business, we have consented to the application of this funding opportunity. They're also looking for 3-year audited financial statements. And obviously you can sense from the fact that it's for 3 years, this refers to existing businesses. They also require 5-year financial projections that should include a cash flow statement, an income statement, and a balance sheet. Obviously, for people that have now advanced, they call those, there are different names for that, but let's keep it there, okay? So you need to submit these, and they're saying that for the first year, they need to be prepared on a monthly basis. They're also looking for recent management accounts. This should include an income statement and a balance sheet. They're also looking for personal statements of income and liabilities for all the members of the business, for all the directors, for everyone who's participating in the business. And if you're married in community of property, they should also provide this statement as well for your spouses. Because, most when you're married in community of property, then you know what's yours is mine, what's mine is yours, yeah. If you're an existing business, they also want 12 months bank statements to be attached as part of the application form. They want certified ID copies of all members. They want registration documents and all legislative documents that you need to have based on your businesses, because some businesses also need certifications and certain compliance documents. So basically make sure that you have all your compliance. And in this area, it also shows you that if you don't have a registered business, you cannot apply for the NEF funding instruments or funding opportunities. If you are getting into the franchise space, make sure that you provide detailed information and a profile of the franchisor. And if you are buying a business that is in existence and you need assistance in that regard, you also need to provide details of why the business is actually up for sale. What happened? Because they don't want to, get in situations where they are funding businesses that there are inherent problems with the business and it's not even going to go forward, and that's the reason why the owners are selling. So you need to give the reason why the business is up for sale. They also want, for franchise people or people who are getting into the franchise space, they want franchise agreements. They also want historical informational data around other franchisees in the same area. So you need to also get that information. Some kind of an indication from the franchisor of how much a new franchise would cost in the area, of the same size, obviously. They also want, if you're in a franchise again, they also want an understanding of the lease agreement and lease arrangements. If there's an existing lease, is it going to be going through with the new application that is now happening, or with the new business that's taking over, and how long is the remaining time on that lease? If not, then if it's a new franchise, then you just need to produce the lease agreement that you are going to be entering into with the company yourself directly. The other thing that they want, they don't want to go into processes of vetting you as the franchisor, as the franchisee. So they also want an undertaking from the franchisor that says that we are, we would like to work with this buyer. We would like to work with this business that wants to buy this franchise of ours. Make sure that you attach your FICA compliance requirements, things such as your proof of address. It needs to be there. And I would advise that collect all the proofs of addresses for all the different directors in the business or the members in the business, just so that there's no comebacks. They want a detailed CV of the principal applicant. Okay, these are part of the documents that you need to submit when you are submitting your NEF funding application. Now, the next section focuses on what you need to include in your business plan so that they can be able to see that it is sustainable and it is viable. I am most definitely not going to be getting into the different areas. I'm just going to list the areas because it would take forever. This video would be like an hour long. The business plan needs to have an executive summary, the purpose of the funding required, if the business is actually going to be, if the applicant is looking to procure an existing business, you want this money to buy an existing business, you need to also have a valuation of the business. Talk about the products and the services, describe them in detail within your business plan. You must have industry analysis within your business plan. You must have target market analysis within your business plan. You must have competitor analysis, supplier analysis, operational analysis, management and human resources, and a summary of internal and external risks, your risk management area. And you should also have socio-economic benefits. You must also have your financial or cash flow analysis, which is basically your projections. They have provided a template that they want you to use when you're applying that is for two main areas, your income statement and your balance sheet. You need to use the built-in templates that they have provided because they have designed them in such a way that they are going to make sure that the information, they are able to consume it the way that they want, okay? I always say this, a funder it's their money and it's you who requires them in a way, so make sure that you play by their rules and don't ask questions about their rules. Just play by their rules. And that is basically most of what the application form contains. I think I've covered everything. The last page is basically contact information, and you will have the NEF offices in the different provinces. I think there's one province that does not have NEF offices, but all the other provinces seem to have NEF offices according to this page. So if you want maybe to contact them and ask certain questions or get assistance, you can actually find them in your very own province within South Africa. And that is all I have time for in terms of the NEF application. If you're struggling and you are thinking that you can afford outsourcing the services to my company, you can definitely be able to do that. I do not engage in any other way except for my email. Go to my about information right here on my page. You are going on my bio. You are going to find my email address, and let's engage there. And yes, make sure that if you are new, you consider subscribing and switching on that notification bell, as I'll continue bringing you information relating to how you can be able to start and grow your business and move it to the next level. And if you think that information is going to be of value to you, consider subscribing. If you are coming back again, thank you so much for your support. I truly, truly appreciate it. And this is all for me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.